Welcome back to another episode of the Clashing Conferences podcast, basketball edition. I missed last week, so I'm interested in hearing these guys give me crap for that, I'm sure. So
Game.
I'm sure we'll get to that. But first order of business, we have a new sponsor that we need to rep. So if you want to rep your team with a custom printed 3D hype chain from LOTWYN, big game day, or just showing out, these made to order chains bring the energy. Use code TCCPOD for 10% off, or grab one of our oversized chains on their website to support the network. Links in the description. They're usually down there.
What does TCC stand for?
I'm pretty sure the Clashing Conferences
you got
mod.
it. Good job.
I want to be clear so people knew exactly what the code was.
Yeah, good job.
What are we, Matt?
Who's Matt?
We are broadcasting
Something.
company. No, man, we're a sports fan network. Come on, get it right or pay the price. We all know this. Shoot.
So why don't you guys tell us, how things go this week? I know we're still waiting on Juice. He might show up, but let's
all
get
these
started.
people with crappy teams. It's probably because they're all scared. I'm surprised Karan even bothered coming on here today. Goodness.
Hey,
Well,
Karan's got a lot of good things going up there in New York right now.
Listen, just because his hair is almost on my level does not mean his team is on my level, okay? Let's get that right.
Define a lot, Mike. A lot of good things.
Yeah, I mean, Brunson, I said in the chat, I think I saw Brunson was player of the week.
Yeah, okay. We're sticking with just basketball. Okay.
You got Mitchell back on the court. Chris is just having a party over there all over himself about Mitchell being back.
I know Rick's scared. I could see it. No, listen, in the last week we had a couple of good wins. I think Friday night the Knicks had a really good win in Memphis, so that was a solid road victory. I know, a lot of people make a big deal about the fact that they haven't beaten Boston and OKC and Cleveland, and rightfully so. Those are, three of the best teams, but they are 2-0 against Memphis, and they are 2-0 against Denver. So those are, last time I checked, the second and third seeds in the West. So, beating them on the road was a solid win. I think over the weekend and then in Sunday in Miami, another road win. Again, it's say what you want. I know Miami is not the same team that they were in the past, but going on the road, taking a game is not very easy to do. Eastern Conference opponent, the Knicks and Heat have always played close games historically. So I was happy they got that win. And then last night against Golden State, listen, they had that game. It was a great game throughout. I know, tied into the fourth quarter, midway through, it was tied at like 94. For some reason, the starters just were flat. I know Tibbs brought in all the starters like wholesale changes, 6-7 minutes left to go in the game, and they just couldn't make a shot towards the end of the game.
Wait, are you saying your team might have been tired?
No, because they were coming off the bench. All the starters were on the bench, and they came back midway through the fourth quarter, but they just didn't make any shots. It happens. I mean, Brunson didn't make any shots towards the end. Hart had a really off night. Anunoby played one of the best games he's played as a Knick. I mean, he had almost 30 points. So, it's just one of those things where we just didn't win at home against a good team. It happens. I mean, we're 40-21. You're not going to win them all. So, this next week is going to, but the next time we talk is going to tell us a lot because they're going on a 5-game West Coast trip. LA twice, the Warriors, the Blazers, and I believe the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what happens.
So they're coming for you, Rick.
Yeah, we're real scared. Okay, yeah, I'll see you later on that one. No way. Michael, what team do you root for at this point? Who?
I was going to ask, how are the Hornets?
Oh, we just got more guys getting hurt every week, so I don't even know who's playing for us anymore, if I'm being honest. Half these guys, never heard of them.
What's your stance on LaMelo? Have you finally come onto my side?
No, Melo's awesome. When he's on the court, he's awesome.
Okay,
I gotta get him out there.
He won in LA, right? He had that good game a week or two ago against the Lakers and beat them. And then I want to say the very next game, I think he went like 1 for 10 and just was an absolute dog. So
I don't know that he's played more than 3 games in a row all season. He keeps hurting one of his ankles. And it's not even just one ankle. It's the left ankle this week, the right ankle the next week, and he's just got bad ankles. Some
That's the
shoes. We've
thing
talked
about
about this
this league.
before. Yeah.
There's so many good players out there that it's just when they play, it's obviously a joy to watch them play. Like John Morant, obviously Lamelo Ball. It's Lamelo, right? Did I get that one right? I forgot. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys like that when they're on the court, which is unfortunately 50% of the time, Zion Williamson's another one. He had 37 points last night, but I didn't even know how many games he's played this year. I think he's played like 10 games, if I'm
He
not mistaken.
hasn't played a back-to-back all
So,
year.
it's
Fleecing your team, Michael. Fleecing.
so.
And you don't want to trade him.
No, absolutely not. We're gonna get Cooper Flag and LaMelo and Brandon Miller and Mark Williams. That's a solid young core. I'm gonna be happy with that next year. Give me that.
Mike, would you love it? Because we all know the NBA is rigged. We all know the draft is rigged. We could give 10 examples of how it's rigged, but wouldn't you love it if they did what they did for you in the early 90s and they just gave you 2 years of back-to-back number one picks and you could just restart your franchise from
Are
day
you
one?
kidding me? Give me Zoe and Larry Johnson again?
Mm-hmm.
You think the draft is rigged?
Actually, it started with you guys in
Oh my
85.
God!
I knew he was going there.
No?
But the last 5 years, I mean, even the Zion draft, you think the NBA wanted him to go to New Orleans?
Yeah, no,
because
I
Anthony
don't.
Davis was forcing a trade out and they had to replace a star with a star. Yeah. Yep.
They don't care about New Orleans as a market.
No. Also, don't forget that the drafts, we had 3 years in a row where the draft was literally the same picks and the same teams, including the Celtics. So that was weird, but it was
I
always
think
it was.
Cleveland's won the draft multiple times. The Atlanta Hawks this past year won the draft
Yep.
lottery. I mean, New Orleans. I mean, those are not what you call big market teams that are going to high profile a number one pick if it was rigged. I mean,
But how did New Orleans get the when they got Anthony Davis? How did they do that? Oh, the owners took over the team. Remember, they vetoed the Kobe trade for Chris Paul,
Yeah.
and then they had to fix it. And so, what did they do? They got the first pick. And what happened when
Why would
John
they-
Wall came out? He went to DC. What happened when LeBron came out? He went to his hometown team. Right? The list goes on. What happened when LeBron left Cleveland? They got the first pick 3 out of 4 years in a row, and then he went back.
Why would that be rigged? Why would the NBA want that for Cleveland? Well, why Cleveland for all teams to keep
They
getting the
just
number one pick?
watched LeBron slap their ice cream cone out of their hand and run away to Miami. And
Listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. I didn't think rigged was not what I thought, especially because I figured Zion, that was the Knicks. I mean, listen, I would advocate. I wanted him on the Knicks more than anybody because that was the year we were supposed to get Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and draft Zion Williamson and have this next, super team. And it never happened. Thankfully, it never happened because then we wouldn't be in the position we're in right now. But I could have sworn Zion Williamson was going to come to the Knicks just because the Knicks had won like 10 games that year. So, and then we get the third pick, and we all know what happens then. So.
I'll tell you what, you let the Sixers leapfrog the Hornets and get Cooper Flag, and I'm gonna be with you. This is some rigged BS.
I think he might end up in San Antonio. If I'm being honest, I think that's where he's going to end up going. And I think that's just, as you've seen, they kind of the Spurs. Whenever there's that generational big man that comes out, they always end up getting him. So it would be kind of ironic if they got the next two at the same time. But watch out if they do. That'd be a scary.
Spurs draft rigged when they draft Wemby.
I think so. I mean, think about it. It's like here comes a generational 7-footer, and he's going to go to
San Antonio?
Like, but no.
It's interesting.
They seem to do well with generational 7-footers there.
Just saying. Dave, what do you think? Rigged? Not rigged?
Yeah, I think all sports have a somewhat. I mean, it's skewed. I don't think it's like straight out rigged, but there's people pushing for things to happen always.
Ask Karan about 1985. What does he know if he's a real Knicks fan?
You're talking about the frozen envelope?
That's right. Yes, that is right.
So, if that was the case, then why haven't the Knicks won the lottery again? We're talking 40 years later. Not once.
Because they got caught.
but all the 5 years in a row at Cleveland.
I'm just fueling the fire. I don't believe in the
like,
frozen
you guys
envelope
can't even do
conspiracy.
We can't even rig a pick for these morons. Jesus. All right, let's not do that again.
Yeah, I've heard the conspiracy theory of the frozen envelope, but hey, it worked in our favor that 1 year, 40 years ago. Yeah, we had it. Here we are, 2025. We haven't gone back ever since. So
time to start freezing some envelopes. Well, are we going to talk about the Celtics? I mean, come on, we are the champs, right, boys? I mean, what do we want to talk about?
I actually want to have your time.
I want to address something that I thought was funny the other day, right? So, the Cleveland game where we were up big and we blew the lead and we lost, right? Everybody saw the Celtics lose that game.
I saw Jason Tatum say, "Get out of here."
But we lost. We all saw that, right? Okay. And so they won. And remember last year when we beat Cleveland and then Donovan Mitchell went down about halfway through the series and then he got hurt and we beat him. And then everybody cried and said, they didn't have their starter. That didn't count, right? Okay. So we were down 2 starters the other day and we were beating the brakes off the number 1 team in the East until we weren't. So does that count? Does that mean we get to use the same whiny excuse that every stupid fan used last year when we mowed through the playoffs and lost 2 games? Because I just want to see if the rules are applicable and we're all playing about the same ones. So someone fill me in, please.
I didn't watch the game. I didn't know your 2 starters were down, but I do take the regular season with a grain of salt. And I'm saying that for my own team, for any team. We lost to the Warriors last night. I'm not saying, we're not as good as the Golden State's 34-28. The Knicks are 40-20. So the Knicks are a better team than Golden State. We lost at home to a good team. Detroit beat Boston the other night. I'm not saying the Pistons are better than the Celtics. It happens in the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, Cleveland is 51-10 from what I'm reading on the screen right now.
Sounds all right.
Am I surprised that they went into Boston and won? No, but I think it would be a great 7-game series if it got to that point. And I would still, in my heart of hearts, I would still honestly just take Boston with their experience and their talent and their coaching over Cleveland. I just think Cleveland is really taking advantage of the regular season, but I don't think they're a championship team. I could be wrong. I mean, winning 50 out of 60 games is no joke. So to your question, no, I think the regular season, you just have to look at it different. It's 1 game. Maybe they took the foot off the gas a little bit and Cleveland took advantage of it. But full squad, yeah, I think it would be a really good series if they played each other.
Yeah.
With both at full strength.
I think you guys are going to get Detroit. I really do. I think
do
if
too.
you guys stay stuck in that 3 spot, that's who you're going to get. Or you're going to get a tough draw in that 3-6 round for sure.
We're not that far behind the Celtics. With 3 games, I think listen, I'm not banking on catching this. Would I love to overtake them? Yes, because then we get the home court and different matchups and all that. But I don't know. I don't know what the Celtics schedule looks like down the road. Like I just said, the Knicks play 5 games now on the West Coast. Not looking forward to that trip. I hope they come back alive, and then we'll see where we stand after that trip is over. But yeah, it looks like right now they're going to be the 3rd seed, and it looks like Detroit is going to solidify that 6th seed. So, if what you said, Mike, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, Mike, if what you said next year, I mean, it's not that difficult to become the 7-10 in the East if you look at some of their records. So, if the Hornets just get their head on straight and this guy stays healthy and you get a good draft pick, you could easily get in the play-in tournament a year from now.
Yeah, any team in the East, the bottom half of that playoffs is not that strong. I mean, any team could take the leap from any year to the next.
Anybody, I mean, I feel like I might have already called it early on, but does anybody think that there's going to be the Celtics-Lakers rematch with the dichotomy of the... No.
Lakers aren't going. I don't think the Lakers are going to the finals.
Huh?
I don't think the Lakers are going to the finals.
I don't know, man. I don't know how one guy made such a difference, but here they come, and I'm thinking to myself, here you go. You got Luka, who got slapped around by us last year. You got LeBron, who got slapped out of Cleveland by us, and yeah, I could see that happening. Them against us.
It would be a heck of a storyline. I mean, the NBA. If you want to talk about rigged storylines, I mean, the NBA would love to see that.
Clickbait. I'm telling you, we're gonna come back to this. If this happens, Steve's gonna come back to this clip. It'll pop up in the bubble like a little cartoon. I'll be like, yeah, remember that? But I think it's gonna happen. I did not think that trade was gonna be so advantageous for them, and yet it is. So here we are.
How about the Mavs half of that falling apart by the minute over there? I can't believe Kyrie's out now for the rest of the year with the ACL. Who knows when we're going to see AD again? I mean,
Oh, that team's falling apart,
that's
honestly.
just hey, the Hornets get their first round pick next year, unprotected. Not this year, but next year. I
Yep.
hope this bad luck continues for just a little bit longer, man. Come on.
I think it will. I think it will. I don't know what happened in that trade, but some bad karma. Something went wrong.
Yeah, yep. I've been hearing rumblings, not read, but heard this on the radio the other day that the Mavs new owners, the people who bought it from Cuban, have been trying for since the day they bought it to get Texas to allow casinos
Yep.
or online gambling. I guess they're a big casino family out of Vegas. And they're like saying basically now that like this is one of their ploys to just try to get the heck out of Texas. Like they're not getting what they want out of Texas, so like they're just gonna try to piss everybody off there and get the team moved off to Vegas and be the next NBA team in Vegas.
Yep. Which again sounds rigged. Just saying. Sounds
Yeah.
like one team's not pulling their weight.
It also sounds like a bad idea to have basketball players in Vegas all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. How many? As soon as a franchise goes there, some athlete gets in a car accident, kills somebody. It's like and they just keep bringing more franchises. So you're not wrong, Dave, at
They're going
all.
to bring all four there. I mean, there's
Yep.
already two,
It's
and one's on the
coming.
way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
baseball's on the way, and they're building that stadium right now, and football's already there, and there's
Yep.
just too much money. There's way
Yep.
too much money in Vegas now. Gambling is not that big of a deal anymore. Now it's in every state. You can't say we're not going to put Team Vegas because of gambling, because gambling's everywhere. So I mean that was the biggest barrier all those years, and now it's not a barrier anymore.
It's not only that, it's sponsored. Every league sponsors it, promotes it heavily. It's on their
Yeah,
courts, it's on
yeah,
their
yep.
sidelines, it's on the
E-
billboards. I
Either
mean, so you
DraftKings or
can't escape
FanDuel
it.
or Caesars on every single one. You're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans all over the place.
I keep hearing KD. Everybody keeps thinking now he's going to get traded to OKC next year. You guys thinking it's going to happen?
Going somewhere.
Yeah, I heard yesterday. The OKC thing I think makes a lot of sense in my opinion. It does. It's a good opportunity for him. Listen, I don't know. I used to really like KD, but the last few years, like I don't know what happened to him, but for him to bounce around from team to team like this, like it's just not a good look. I don't know. I guess going to Brooklyn was the first mistake, but leaving Golden State and the good thing he had. I do think he would really do a lot for his legacy if he went back home or went back to OKC where it started and tried to help that team win a championship. It would do a lot, like when LeBron went back to Cleveland and won that title. I mean,
Yeah.
he can't do no wrong now. Um, so I would think that OKC getting him, I do think he's not. I do think he's leaving Phoenix one way or another. He's not staying there. That team is terrible with the
Yep.
talent that they have, and he just got into it yesterday with his coach. I'm sure I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but
Yeah.
him and his coach got into it on the sideline. So they're dysfunctional for what it's worth. So I do think he's going to get traded. But OKC does make a lot of sense.
How old is that guy?
37.
That's it.
He's been in the league for like almost 20
That's
years.
it. That's
Man,
very
young.
old for an NBA
Yeah, I know
player.
it's old for NBA, but like I
But
don't
he's
know.
been around a long time too because he came in at like 18 or 19, so he's been playing a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
They played for the
Absolutely.
Supersonics.
Yep.
So that tells you right there.
Yep. How about again the fact if you know your basketball, then you know that it's because of Kevin Durant that Jimmy Butler is on the Warriors right now. Anybody explain why?
Bet you
Because
can.
he
You
nixed their
mean
trade at the
because
deadline.
he refused to go in the trade?
No, because they used him in a trade. Remember, they traded him for D'Angelo Russell to the Nets, and then they used D'Angelo Russell to trade him to the Timberwolves so they could get Wiggins. Then they traded Wiggins to the Heat
Okay.
so they could get Butler. So they're still eating off of that Kevin Durant trade.
Yeah, I can't believe that Kevin Durant refused to go to the Warriors this year. Yeah, it would have been a good spot for him. I feel like at least a much better spot than Phoenix is right now. I mean, that really surprised me that he was like, "No way, I'd rather be here than going back there."
Draymond hurt his feelings, man. He hurt his feelings.
You
Let's just
think
call it
so?
spade spade. Yeah,
I
man.
think
He
Draymond
hurt
might
his
hurt
feelings.
everybody's feelings.
Man, you
Draymond was
can't. It's sports. It's sports. You're supposed to get amped up. It's like the military. Like if you got we got to get loud in order to be successful. Go to Brooklyn. They'll wipe your tears. With the trash off the ground.
Draymond
It's
might
dirty
take
New
it a
York.
little bit too far every once
Hey,
in a while when you're
that's
knocking out
uncomfortable.
your teammates in practice.
I mean, I'm not promoting punching your teammates in the face, but he yelled at me. I'm gonna go on and play my video games now. Man, I don't want to hear it.
Durant was on his podcast last week.
Yeah. So why do you
So
want to go back to the Warriors?
I don't think it was the Draymond factor. I don't know why he didn't want to go back to Golden State. I really don't. I don't think it was Draymond Green though. They've hung out. They've been at the All Star game together. They're fine. I think.
He's a halfway crook, my friend. Meaning he shook. So yeah, that's what it is. Is Juice coming tonight? What are we doing?
I think he and
Yeah, we
Embiid
have to
have
call that a
both been
no at this
ruled out.
point, right?
We calling halftime, timeout.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
We're a man down. We got a starting 4 tonight.
And Topher's the one who is always talking. So
A lot of space to fill.
yeah.
Shout out to the MVP, Topher.
We all.
All right. Well, we'll take a break and then come back, and Rick can pick on somebody
What?
for Matt Libs.
Dave, I'll strike you down.
Probably.
Get right.
Probably make me say something inappropriate and get us in trouble.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
That's right. We never left. Anywho, time for Matt Libs. I have some good questions tonight. We're going to pivot tonight because Juice is not here. But Juice can answer this later on. Michael, we'll do it for him because the Sixers were your girlfriend team. So I'm going to leave with you. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I personally, again, I think Joel Embiid, when healthy, is an amazing player. But we know the man will never be healthy. So I think we could all agree that his career is going to be kind of like a Grant Hill, what could have been. So with that said, you can keep Joel or not in this. I don't really care. But let's go back and revisit the process or the lack thereof. So these are guys that I remember getting drafted highly from the Sixers. You have Nerlens Noel, you have Jahlil Okafor, you have Ben Simmons, and you have Markelle Fultz, both number 1 picks. So, Michael, if you could redraft on behalf of the Sixers, who would you go back and repick? Give me 2 guys right now out of that.
Oh, well, if we're talking top 2, the top 2 are easy. You got to go to 2016 when they drafted Ben Simmons, number 1 overall. You could have had Brandon Ingram. You could have had Jaylen Brown. Yeah, probably a mistake there on that one. And then the other easy one is the following year, 2017. They took number 1 overall again, and they traded up to do it again. Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. De'Aaron Fox was in that draft. A couple other guys who were definitely having better careers than Markelle Fultz. So back-to-back years that the process, I think, got derailed right there with some pretty terrible franchise-altering bad decisions.
Who would you have taken the Jays in those 2 years?
I'll be honest. No, in retrospect, I don't recall thinking, hey, this is terrible.
No, I mean right now. Like, if you could just do it right now, like, and you were like, yeah, I would have taken Jaylen Brown, and I would have taken, Jokic
well,
was
yeah.
in that
Could you
draft.
imagine how good the Sixers would be if they would be Boston? I mean,
Well, that's why we're doing this.
I mean,
because they're never gonna.
if
They're
you
not gonna
put
experience that.
the
We have to give
Boston's
it to them.
best 2 players on the Sixers would be the best team in the league instead of Boston.
Yeah, but they're not. Oh, it's too bad. Well, that's 2 picks. Oh,
Could you
we'll come
imagine
back.
those 2 guys with a healthy Embiid?
Could you
I can't
imagine a healthy
Embiid.
Embiid?
They fair enough.
Even I know that one.
Dave loves basket hoops. All right, Karan, here we go. If you had to name your dirty Knickerbocker team, which is what they're called the dirty they're the Knickerbockers. So if we had to name your dirty night Knickerbocker team to a new mascot, which of the four would you pick? A, the Dirty Rats. B, the Fat Ewoks. C, the Rat Snakes. And D, the Pigeons.
Those are my only.
Do you have
really
to?
weird. Do I have to?
I
don't
mean,
even have a mascot
it's
now.
Fat Ewok, right?
Yeah, I would say Fat Ewoks. That'd be fun.
I don't know what that is, but sure, I'll go with that one.
You never seen Star Wars?
I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm sorry.
Little Bears? Oh, man.
I'll go with that one, though. But I'm not doing pigeons or rats, so that Ewok just by default is the best one.
That's very New York, sir. I'm sorry. You kidding me? You're telling me a pigeon or a rat is not a fair mascot for New York? It should be a rat riding a flying pigeon through the air. That's what it should be. You heard it, folks. I'm going to draw that logo up. That's going to happen. We'll make
Don't give Chris any more AI ideas. All right, like he's getting off the rails with his AI images set in these group chats.
It is getting pretty funny. Dave. All right, Dave. I love getting to ask you questions this season because I just know I'm ready for what you need to be successful. So here we go. Clashing Conferences boy band. 5 guys. Go.
Oh, you're in it for sure.
Yes.
It's a leader.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like remember that MTV show where they made that not made a boy band, but it was like a made up boy band.
O-Town? Yeah, I went and saw him in concert twice. Yeah, keep going.
Wow. Didn't see that coming. You're definitely the leader.
Almost got in a fight at one. I didn't even do nothing.
I'm sure. Cody is probably in there, right?
I mean, you got to have a wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony probably deserves it. I'm not sure what role he would play. But
Two-way Tony? Oh, yeah. He's definitely like the quiet, dreamy one. Yep.
Man, that's all that really fit the description for
We're
me.
not LFO, bro. We need 2 more. Come on. This is not.
Oh. All right. The Patty. Just because. Why not?
Okay. I could see that. Yep.
And
nominate Chris as like the older guy trying to be hip and young.
He's even aged out of that.
Okay, all right.
That was the name of the old guy in NSYNC too, Chris. So that might work.
It can be Chris. It's fine. He can be creepy.
Yeah.
No, I imagine Chris would be the guy in Boys to Men that has the cane and he just kind of does the like ba 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 boo in the background.
Plays the spoons or something.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right. All right, Clashing Conferences boy band. We're going on tour this summer. Mike, I'm seeing us doing these dance moves in my head right now. Karan can do our hair. All right, Mike, I need the other 2 picks. The other 2, when they just completely airballed their draft class. Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor. Who would you have not picked?
Well, I don't know. We're skipping. We're skipping. I wasn't prepared, even though I was told to be prepared.
Being too? All right, okay, fair.
Coming up with song titles.
All right, do you have one of your 8 computers queued up? Or are we good?
Jahlil Okafor year. The pick after him was Kristaps Porzingis. That would have been definitely a better option. And a couple picks further down was a Devin Booker. Who would have been one hell of a player for the Sixers for a decade or more.
Ooh.
And then what was your other one? I might actually skip over your other one. I don't know what year Nerlens Noel was.
Nerlens Noel. He was a center, I believe, out of Kentucky. Tall, skinny guy. Had the high.
I know exactly who Nerlens Noel was. I don't know what year he was.
Probably like 2015.
I had a stint with the Knicks too.
But I'll tell you this: while I look at that, I got another one. They took Mikal Bridges at number 10. In what year was this? 2018. And the pick after that, Hornets screwed this one up. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, went number 11 after the Sixers pick. And then the Hornets traded that pick to the Clippers I don't know how he ended up at Oklahoma City, but that's a roundabout way to get drafted by the Hornets and then the pick traded to the Clippers and then somehow ended up playing his whole career for Oklahoma City.
That was the Paul George trade. The Clippers
Oh,
gave Paul
okay.
George
All
for
right. Good call.
Shea and all those picks. They're still paying the price for that.
Good call, Karan.
So the Sixers right now could have had a team that would include Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, SGA,
SGA.
and Joel Embiid.
Yeah, yep.
Noted. So there you go, Philly fans. Close
Bridges,
your
that
eyes. Imagine
2018
that.
draft, the Knicks drafted Kevin Knox 9 right before Donovan Mitchell and Mikal Bridges. So that one
Karan,
hurts. Rick,
last one.
hopefully it's better than the first one.
They're all good, sir. Okay, check yourself. All right,
Awesome.
this guy trying to act like pigeons and rats don't live in New York. All right, Karan. I want a detailed answer, one way or another. You can feel how you want, but I want to know if you could ban that unlucky little orange leprechaun named Spike Lee. Would you? Yes or no, and why?
No, I would not. I would not ban him.
Explain,
No.
sir.
He's a diehard fan. He pays for his seats. He's at every game. He's loyal. He talks Knicks. I mean, he's a director. He makes great movies. I like Spike. I have nothing against him. Yeah,
You
he's had
don't
a
think
couple
that
run
he adversely affects your team's ability to win games sometimes?
How? Because he jaws a little bit at players?
Yeah, and gets him amped
Because he
up.
jawed with Reggie Miller 30 years ago? I mean,
Yeah.
no, I made my peace with that. I think it's okay. There's been really nothing else. In fact, I think he got the short end of the stick a couple of years ago. I think something with Dolan and him and his tickets and getting into the building. It was a bad PR look, but I think they cleared the air on that. But no, I wouldn't trade Spike. I like the fact that we don't have a mascot. Relating to your previous question, we don't have a mascot. We don't even have pigeons or rats or Ewoks or whatever. We have nothing. So Spike is our diehard fan. I mean,
He's as close of a mascot as you
the
got.
Lakers have Nicholson, and I think the Clippers have Billy Crystal, and Denzel Washington's a huge Laker fan. So yeah, I like the fact that Spike. You think of the Knicks when you think of Spike Lee. So I do like the fact that we have that guy, that he's a diehard fan, and actually Ben Stiller's coming up the list now too.
You were just
be
gonna, I
right
was just
there.
thinking that because I just think of all the same New York actor faces that are always sitting front row that I love watching sad when they lose. So okay, yeah, Ben Stiller's another
Ben
one.
Stiller would be number 2 on my list right now. He's at
And
every
it's
game.
Seinfeld
He
and Larry
always
David
tweets.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't get rid of.
And John McEnroe or whatever, right? All those jabrones. But anyways, okay. So you guys keep on doing what you're doing. It's going great. We're going on like 50 years of losing. I love it. So just let that little guy in. And
That wasn't the question.
it was though.
No, the question was, would you get rid of Spike? I said, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but he's bad luck. He's a bad luck. Listen, I'll give you an example as a Celtics guy, right? And when we finally broke that curse, Dave Portnoy, El Prez, right? I love the man. I've been following Barstool since they almost started. But with that said, that man would show up for game sevens, piss LeBron James off, and then we would get smashed on our home court. I don't know how many game sevens we lost, and him being courtside and players being like, in your face. And I was thinking, man, this guy's got to stop. He's got to stop doing it. So if it was like 20 or 30 years and we didn't win, yeah, I'd be calling for his head. So your compassion, admirable, sir, but also like Topher, delusional. That's it for Matt, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, does anybody have anything else?
So where the hell is everybody tonight?
Topher sick.
Juice.
Who else is a regular on this thing? Who are we missing?
Tony P's working.
Yeah, Tony P and Juice has been somewhat regular.
All right, so hey, if you want to join the Classic Conferences
That's the
basketball
dumb
pod,
shit.
dude, we're down some guys. What's up?
You can click the link. Reach
Shoot,
out.
Tom Thibodeau must be coaching this team. Jeez Louise, we're falling.
All right. We made it. One last thing. We want to make sure that we're still going to see Lean at Sparrow Hair Studios. Matt, I don't think the poop has nothing to do with the sponsor, everyone.
How does one book an appointment with Sparrow Hair Studio, sir? Do we know that? I didn't mean to put you on the spot because I'm trying to book
There's
one. Is what I'm saying.
probably another one of those links. Show them, Dave.
I've shown them so many times. They know where they are.
Email Rick. He'll set it up for you.
All right. I gotta look fresh. Come on, if I'm coming to PA, I gotta look fresh.
It's
So
gotta be from Sparrow, right?
yeah, of course.